It's not a problem that's very well understood. It's silent because you can have a person that comes to work every day and does their job and puts a very good face, but you don't realize that they go home to empty cupboards, that they're struggling every day to think, how am I going to access food, let alone a nutritious food?
If you don't have access to food, how can you freely participate in your community? You probably won't go to school, you probably won't vote. You can't be hungry and expect to lead a near normal life of any kind.
Parents who find themselves in that situation will probably feed their children before themselves.
Can you imagine, for those of us living in San Diego, California, having people literally, in some cases, starve to death on the streets and in the canyons?
The pandemic has really doubled down, tripled, quadrupled down on the need for food all across the country, and for sure here in San Diego.
The pandemic has triggered major challenges throughout everyday life, in healthcare, the economy, and for millions of Americans, the ability to simply put food on the table.
The nation's food crisis getting more acute by the day. Feeding San Diego fed well over 100,000 people last week alone.
Unemployment soaring, and food banks like the amazing ones that Feeding San Diego run suddenly crushed by the huge amount of demand.
Demand is already up by 50% in some distribution spots, while food donations are plummeting.
Projections about whether we have a resurge of COVID and the projections of unemployment that we're going to be living with for a long time. The need is going to go on for some time.
We were barely making it before COVID came. So yeah, COVID has really been rough on us.
People going hungry is sort of a silent matter. One is hungry, they don't necessarily come out and say, hey, I'm hungry, because they're embarrassed.
It doesn't take much to take a family over the edge. It could be a medical bill, could be a vet bill, could be a car that broke down. And so it's just one small amount that could drive a family from being safe and secure into a place of being scared and hungry.
The schools recognized many years ago, if kids have food insecurity and don't get nutritious meals, they don't think clearly, they don't think the same way, it begins to consume them, and they're less productive than ever.
They're in distance learning. We talk about the challenges, about the distraction and the tech challenges, the challenges of making a connection through Zoom, and about having authentic relationships with peers and adults. And imagine doing that school with those challenges, and now you're hungry on top of it. So it just really exacerbates all the challenges that everyone's feeling across the country.
So where do you go if you're a mom and you have kids to feed, a family, and you've lost your job, you have a car that breaks down, health issues, you have parents to take care of? It's just a compounding effect.
One of the contributors to emissions, to our carbon footprint as a city, is waste decomposing the landfill.
Not only is hunger an issue, but also food waste is an issue.
So anytime we can divert food waste away from the landfill and put it to better use, that's a big win for the climate.
So we knew the need was great, and we could create an infrastructure and solve that problem.
We're working around the clock with different farms and stores to capture that food before it hits the landfill and direct it to people in need instead. We are receiving trucks every single day, up to 4 or 5 trucks in one day of fresh produce, of non-perishables, to continue replenishing what we're distributing out. On top of that, we are delivering every single day to San Diegans in need.
The distribution out here is extremely important. Our closest grocery store is 30 minutes away. It's amazing that we can ensure that we get the people fed that need to be fed.
Nice. Thank you. Again, we partner with more than 320 agencies across San Diego County.
So what's going on here today is a partnership with Feeding San Diego, and it's a great partnership. As a matter of fact, to date, since April 15th, we distributed over 55,000 meals, which is fantastic. And this is done in a very lean, efficient fashion, which we love. We call it distribution with dignity. The family gets to come through quickly. We have staff here. We have a great source of volunteers who are welcoming the families.
Well, what's happening today, like every day, Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 2 p.m., we are serving at 81 of our school grab-and-go locations meals to our students, or any child 18 and under. From day one, Feeding San Diego came on board with us to help provide meals and additional fruits and vegetables for our families. We've already just hit 8 million school meals served since March 16th.
It's healthy food, fresh fruit and vegetables.
He likes the yogurts and eggs, so it gives him breakfast.
They started giving out potatoes, they started giving out eggs,
milk, chicken,
cucumbers, oranges, apples,
canned goods and beans and oatmeal and stuff like that.
They definitely love the sandwiches, the yogurts, and they love the fruit. They always ask me what kind of fruit we get this time.
Every single time I'm here, they get pineapple, and every single kid gets pumped.
They had rice, spaghetti sauce, noodles. They didn't have that in the store.
We're able to have a distribution every single day for those who need it the most. And with access to a food distribution every single day, depending on where you are, it's a very unique model to ensure that food is still getting out to the community, especially in these unprecedented times that we're facing right now.
Over 100,000 of our students would not have access to school meals or any meals possibly if we hadn't opened this up, and if Feeding San Diego hadn't come through to help us. It would really be difficult for families to be able to buy groceries.
We appreciate it so much. My kids appreciate it. We're able to use the money for other things that we need, like clothes for the kids, school supplies for that, home learning.
So I'm just here for help. I'm not work right now. I have my family in my house. I have 2 daughters. So right now it's really help. Thank you so much.
And I've been on unemployment, but it's not enough to cover the bills. So I saw the line of cars and I was like, thank you, God. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
It's a difficult subject to approach with somebody unless they're willing to say, look, I need help, because it feels like you failed somewhere. And right now, people haven't failed. And so it's how we all come together to rebuild the system so everybody's needs are met and you don't go home hungry and desperate and worried, and you can take care of your loved ones.
It is so decided.
On the 25th of September 2015, all United Nations member states signed up to the Sustainable Development Goals, a set of solutions for the biggest problems the world faces.
Feeding San Diego was truly our first partner in this effort to showcase how local actions fit into this global agenda.
We commend Feeding San Diego in their efforts to help end hunger, particularly through its extensive food rescue program.
Hunger is not a partisan issue. Everybody across all parts of the political spectrum want to get involved in solving this. The companies that are really committed to purpose are the ones that are outperforming those by almost 200%. the myth that you can't do good and do well by your shareholders at the same time is being well and truly exploded.
I feel truly blessed that we have the partnership with Feeding San Diego. Because without you guys, this is impossible. Nobody wants to go hungry. Nobody wants to go hungry.
We need the help. Feeding San Diego needs the help to continue to serve and feed and serve all of our kids and our families.
And I know we can do it. It's a matter of uniting. It's a matter of our community being able to collaborate, communicate, and have social discourse. And if that's how we interact with one another, we can solve this. We can really solve this, but we can't do it alone.
It's not only one voice, it's a compounded effect of many voices and many people and many actions, and it's all of us just doing our part that makes the difference.
If everybody works in a positive way, I think we can overcome a lot more. That one little person takes a step, then another person, and more, and it grows into a movement.
We believe that access to nutritious food is a basic human right.
We believe that there's more than enough food produced to end hunger.
We believe that people who are nourished create communities that thrive.
We believe that individuals and students can only reach their potential when both their minds and their bodies have fuel.
We believe that every action counts and that we can all make a difference.
Collaboration can move mountains.
The solution to ending hunger will take all of us.
We need you now more than ever.
We are Feeding San Diego.
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 Together, we can make a difference.